it's time to break down and react to the new Shazam Fury of the Gods trailer. I don't know if you all saw it out in the chat. It was pretty good. We're watching it now, so hold on to your seatbelts because we're about to get blown away. Maybe not blown away, but it's better than the first one.
I tell you what, I was a bit surprised at kind of how good this was. Now, one thing that I want to point out before we get too deep into this, these characters that we're seeing, the one who shoves the apple into the ground, the woman with the staff, these bad guys, something that a lot of people don't realize because it's abnormal for both DC and the MCU, for them to do, is most of the time when they're creating these TV shows and these movies, they're pulling stories or, characters and everything from the comic. But these characters, the bad guys this time around, they're called the Daughters of Atlas. They have never appeared in a DC comic. So what the director wanted to do, he said that he wanted this to be based more on Greek mythology. That was what he was going for. He said, look, the thing that we don't really talk about too often is the fact that we state that all of Shazam's powers comes from the gods. It's what his name Shazam stands for, right? It comes from all of these people. We've seen Atlas himself appear in comics, but he has only ever fought Shazam once, but he fights Superman more often than anyone else.
Just like Black Adam. We heard a rumor, we don't know if this is true or not. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was offered a cameo in this movie and he declined it because he didn't like the sort of feel or the theme, the sort of good-natured fun these movies are. He didn't think they should be that way. So he didn't. Oh, and Tundra Walker gave us it all. It's an acronym that stands for the 6 ancient heroes whose powers he possessed: Solomon, Hercules,
Wisdom,
Atlas,
Hercules, strength, Atlas, stamina, Zeus, power, Achilles, courage, and Mercury, speed. Yeah.
And that's why he's Shazam and not Captain Marvel, like someone on this channel who shall remain nameless who keeps trying to call him.
But that's supposed to be, I guess, the plot for this particular movie, as the Daughters of Atlas find out this child has been given the powers that they think belong to them. And so they're trying to reclaim them from Shazam and his foster sibling.
And if you saw Angel Astor, who plays as, young Billy, he's not so young anymore. He's starting to age out of that role.
A little bit.
And that's why Miss Marvel also isn't Captain Marvel. That's right, Miss Marvel is Kamala Khan, and Captain Marvel is Carol Danvers. So let's continue.
Marvel was a dude. Yes, he was.
Yeah, Marvel was certainly a Kree soldier. That's true. Yeah, they're threatened to annihilate everything. The stakes are raised in this one.
Oh, yeah. Now, one thing that I liked, that I really praised in the first movie for, and I hope they do it again in this movie in some way, the scene that happened towards the end of the first film where they're fighting in the sky, and you have the bad guy giving his, normal bad guy speech, like, when I get you, I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to claim the powers, and then you go over to Shazam, and he's like, what? Dude, you need to speak up. I can't hear you. We're in the air. Your voice is not carrying. And it was funny because they're making fun of these tropes that happen so often in these superhero movies. And I remember the director at the time saying, like, yeah, I think that we had this opportunity. It was given to us that Shazam is a little more of a goofier character, so we can, take this time to sort of call out some of these things that they do time and time again in these movies. And I like how he's sitting there in this scene that you just played a moment ago, where he's actually having a conversation and talking with the villain, like, yeah, hey, I'm just letting you know, you're doing a great job. You are freaking me out. You're definitely super scary. I like that that's happening. It's not like they're going straight to a fight.
And Tundra Walker says, I don't like the new costume. Yeah, I like...
Okay, they flip back and forth, and I don't know why they do that. It's more apparent in this trailer. In the first trailer, it was that non-glowing lightning bolt. But in this one, they keep switching back and forth to the solid lightning bolt and the glowing one. I don't know what happens in the movie that causes that to... I thought at first that it was a... what do you call it?
CG.
They weren't... Yeah, unfinished CG, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
Like, we'll find out something in the movie why it changes at some point. So.
There's got to be a why.
Yeah, no, Sierra, you're not wrong. DC can't seem to get it right, which
we're hoping... why James Gunn is now there.
Which we're hoping changes with the DCU, which we're supposed to get an announcement, at least on the beginning of the DCU sometime this month. We'll definitely be talking about it when it comes up.
A lot has changed in the last few years.
I like how they
Warner logo, New Line Cinema. That's great.
they quickly let us know that a couple years have passed very easily. You know, they don't have to do some weird montage. It's like a lot has changed in a couple of years. You're like, oh, okay, cool. A couple of years has passed. Yes, Tundra Walker, he does only got 5 days left in the month to announce. He was on Twitter today and said it will be before the end of the month. I asked him if it was going to be January 31st at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. He did not respond. So hopefully he's using his time wisely and getting that together.
Which is odd because usually James Gunn is super good about responding to fans on Twitter.
And Real Bad Brad says, I really hope we get another season of Peacemaker. We are getting another season of Peacemaker. James Gunn has already said we are getting a season 2. I don't know if it'll continue after that, if it'll be a part of the DCU in the future, but we'll...
Oh, do you want to let folks know while we're on the topic what we're not getting renewed?
Yeah, I guess we can talk about that. For those of you that didn't hear, Titans and Doom Patrol will not be coming back after season 4. They both have already shown the first part of season 4, and we got a few more episodes coming up at a later date, but those have not been renewed. Very sad to hear about Doom Patrol. It is a great show. It's very fun. Not so sad about Titans, which seems to make very bad decisions about what to do with its characters and tries to rush through years and years of DC, history.
What did it cost?
Oh my
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
What was it, like episode 4 they had, what's his name? Red Hood or whatever.
They rushed through having, Jason Todd spoiler alert, Jason Todd getting murdered and coming back as the Red Hood. They wanted to get to that storyline so bad. Instead of just starting there, well, let's do this, and then we'll do this, and then we'll bring it in, and then, okay, now he's dead, and now we can bring Tim Drake. I don't think the goal of any show with Titans is to get through.
They wanted the dark, spooky characters as soon as possible.
They definitely did. They wanted to, and they could have got to it and not say we're going to get through every Robin ever in the history of Batman comics just to do it. Just start where you're going to start, and it's all good.
Do my eyes deceive me, or are we being graced by a David?
I do believe Dave has shown up. He'll be happy to know that Tundra Walker referred to him as the linchpin of this channel. Yep. I think everyone's excited. I think it's safe to say Jason Todd is murdered since Death in the Family was published in 1990. True. Very true. And you're right. He probably doesn't have as much time for Twitter anymore. Not only is he in virtual meetings every day with the DCU stuff, but he is also still putting the finishing touches on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So he's a busy man.
I also heard, and this is not a rumor, this is 100% true, he is challenged to a duel by Zack Snyder every day, and he constantly has to either chase him away or beat him with the crowbar that killed Jason Todd.
And Real Bad Brad, excuse me, sir, you spelled Nightwing wrong. I always wondered why they didn't spell it Nightwing like that. More than 10,000 votes, and Jason Todd was voted to die by 72 votes.
Some people really wanted him dead.
Yes, they did. Well, he's always been an annoying character. They did a good job of writing him to be annoying. A lot like they did with Damian Wayne.
So that's certainly what they got right on Titans. He was still annoying.
The kid playing him did a great job with being annoying and being the real Jason Todd.
I do like also how Young Justice totally skipped over Jason Todd. They went from season 1 to him not existing to season 2, he's already been dead. That is perfect.
Dave, just so you know, we know the real Dave is locked up in Doug's basement. You are a Skrull. He's been his secret invasion of, for some reason, he's starting with this channel. We can only guess that I'm next. But Sierra wants to know how the basement was.
I actually heard that. What was the basement?
You're
because
in Doug's
the real
basement.
Dave is locked in my basement.
Oh, well, I wouldn't know because I am the Skrull.
Good answer. Yes.
I did hear that on the way over. She called me on my way home to inform me that I was locked in the basement.
No, Dave isn't in my basement. That is the real Dave.
Have you guys gotten through the trailer yet?
Not yet.
We just started it. We kind of tangented it off.
Shockingly.
As per Nort.
We did already talk about the Bad Batch, though.
Yeah, there was not much to add there. It was a filler episode.
Well, Dave, it was indeed an episode.
Out
It
of all
was
the
on
episodes
Disney
they had
Plus.
this year, that's going to be one of them.
It aired this year.
And Tundra Walker saying there's no forward progress without you, Dave. All right.
Honestly, if we don't have Dave to kind of like help keep us under control. You and I we'll tangent out immediately.
But remember, oh boy.
All right, so Dave, you ready to react and break down this the Shazam trailer? Yeah, we got a dragon, but you weren't expecting that. Got a
No,
dragon.
I didn't see that coming. But
You know what I wasn't expecting?
What's that?
Confirmation that Game of Thrones exists in the DC universe when he calls her Khaleesi.
Right.
With this trailer overall, it's a lot darker than the first trailer. It's a lot less lighthearted.
It actually has upped my hype for this a little bit more because it's nice that it's a little darker. You know, we still get those light moments with him, but obviously, you know, we saw earlier a few years have passed. It's understandable. He's probably a little more comfortable in the superheroing and maybe not Kitty, especially since the kid playing Billy looks he's about 6 foot tall now. He's almost bigger than Zachary Levi. You know, they're gonna have to do something.
They did this with the Black Adam trailer too. The first trailer that they released for Black Adam, it was really goofy. It was really silly. They made a bunch of dumb jokes. It had dorky music, and this does not look like what they're describing in this trailer. This doesn't look like the movie that The Rock has been talking about. And I'm like, this doesn't look good. And then they released a second trailer, and I was like, okay, now that looks better. The movie still wasn't great, but I could tell a difference between the two trailers, and that's how I feel with these two trailers so far for Shazam! Fear of the Gods. The first one was really goofy, really over the top, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm really as excited for it. I mean, it sounds okay, but I wasn't sure what the plot was even supposed to be about. I didn't know where they were going with it. This trailer, again, like what Dave pointed out, seems a little darker. And I am actually a little bit more excited for the movie now. It actually makes it look better.
The one line from the first trailer where he's like, I get to fight a dragon. How cool is that? I guess the directors came out and said, that's not necessarily in the movie. That was just added for the trailer, which I'm kind of happy for because that line was like just a little bit too much, I think.
He said, I'm throwing a bus at a dragon. I love my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's we should sue them for false advertising if that's not in the movie.
Well, someone was saying because this trailer gives away a lot of the plot, and I saw someone on Twitter today saying, "Well, those of you who want to sue movie companies for putting out trailers that don't give you the entire plot, I guess Shazam is safe." But you know, we do get him saying they're trying to steal our powers, even though they don't see it as stealing their powers. They think it's their powers that
they see it as they're the rightful owners of it. Again, they're the daughters of Atlas, and they feel that the powers that were given to Billy from the wizard Shazam should have never gone to the boy and start trying to take them back. They feel they belong to them. And again, as I was mentioning to Keith before you joined, Dave, these particular villains have never been in DC Comics. These were created. They weren't created, so to speak. They're from Greek mythology, but they were added specifically for the purposes of this movie. This isn't based off of any particular story in the comics.
Oh, a completely original idea.
Yeah, a completely original story. Weird for a comic book movie.
Yeah, they don't normally do that. They usually rehash old ideas.
And I stumbled upon that because I was actually trying to see. I wonder, generally what I'll do is I'll try and find like what graphic novel to read or what comics to read in anticipation for a movie, and I could not find a single one. This isn't based off anything. Like, at least with Black Adam, there was plenty of stories where he tries to take over Karak and everything, and he's, and it shows him in an anti-hero sort of light. But with this, I couldn't find anything, and then that's when I finally found this interview from the director where he was like, yeah, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to really tell the story that really made it feel like it was part of Greek mythology.
Which is nice. It is nice that it's going to be something original and not anything that we've seen in comics. I'm serious, guys, where are we going with these DC movies? Well, these ones, nowhere, because it's getting rebooted with the DCU. David, tall guy, 0403 is absolutely right. And Real Bad Brad says, count the sea monster in the Goonies. Yes, 100%. And Tundra Walker wants to know, why do the daughters of a strong guy have poison ivy tentacle powers? Well, because sometimes superheroes have kids with different powers. It can't all be Magneto and Polaris. It can be, one mutant has a kid that has a different power. Kids aren't strong. They have magical powers and whatnot.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't be sad if they removed about half the Captain Marvel family. Do they even have superhero names? There's Captain Marvel Jr. and Mary Marvel, but none of the others come from the comics. They're going to lose their powers, at least temporarily, in this movie. I think they just wanted all the array of colors. When they brought Black Adam in, he could be, that last color to finish it off.
I don't like having.
We're just gonna go full on Power Rangers, huh?
Pretty much. See
Okay,
there.
so this is what I was talking about, where again we see the swapping of the uniforms, right? Most of the time, we're seeing them in this movie with that just plain gold lightning bolt, and then every now and again they'll show them in their uniform with like the lit up lightning bolt. And again, I don't know why that is. I'm guessing there's probably an in-universe explanation in the movie for it.
Yeah, I hope they explain it. Something happens in the middle of this movie, in the second act or something, that explains it. But who knows? Maybe their powers are upped. Maybe they do something and they all get increased powers. Who knows? Go Marvel Rangers, yes.
Right.
And there we get the Khaleesi line because he's taking out the dragon.
Yep.
I really hope we get to see, Shazam's powers to the fullest because, Shazam is the one guy in the DC universe that scares Superman. If you ever read Kingdom Come, that Superman, is nervous.
And as I was saying a moment ago, so Superman did fight Atlas, and Atlas almost killed Superman. But in true DC fashion, it was Krypto the Superdog that actually saved him. I guess he was like this close to dying because, again, as we find out, Superman is weak to magic, and that is, that's what the gods and what Shazam use is magic. I guess from what I read, Krypto flies in, uses his super breath to distract Atlas, giving Superman a moment to regain his bearings and win the fight.
Thank you, Krypto. Yes. Guys, side note. I just saw Grindhouse for the first time last night. It was awesome. Yes, it was.
Oh, Grindhouse is great, yeah. That's those like Z movies or whatever that Robert Rodriguez and Tarantino put together. Really good.
That
machine gun leg woman and
yeah, it's Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Who dies in every movie she's in.
Yeah.
There we go. Get a car being thrown.
That bus. Yeah, he's throwing the bus at the dragon. There it was.
And we did see it looked all of the Marvel family depowered, and it's only Shazam, and obviously he's inside of the force field that they're doing. Then we get Mary Marvel. We get some more. And it's interesting that he's saying, take my powers back here. Is that really going to, is he doing it because he thinks that that's going to save, his brothers and sisters? Because if you look behind him, none of them are in their uniform. They're probably thinking they're all about to die at the hands of the Daughters of Atlas. It's interesting to see that he thinks if the wizard takes his powers back, it's going to save him. We're probably going to see that big hero moment. There's only one way to, save this now, and I got to defeat them myself. Yeah. And I wonder if at the end of this, if it's going to be, now obviously we're not going to get a Shazam 3. I highly doubt it. I guess anything's possible.
I don't see that happening.
But it looks like we're maybe setting up for Shazam 3 prior to the DCU being announced. Maybe Shazam versus Black Adam, one-on-one. He no longer has the Marvel family. They're depowered. He's full strength with, all of it. None of it shared. And maybe that's the way he goes up against Black Adam, which I really wish at some point in the future we get a Shazam versus Black Adam on-screen fight, because that's one of the best, hero and villain matchups that they have in DC Comics.
Thunderwalker says they had to be. What's the point of Black Adam otherwise? Yeah, he's always been like one of the greatest foils for Shazam, because he's supposed to have been a more experienced version of Shazam. He's also not willing to pull his punches.
Yeah, as they said in the movie, heroes don't kill, but I do.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it would have been nice to see. I don't think we're going to, unless James Gunn, for whatever reason, decides to keep the Shazam universe its own separate thing. I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, definitely trying to understand the direction they're trying to go.
Thunderwalker. Heroes kill. Batman does it. Superman in the Snyderverse, they do.
He's just
and
trolling.
Punisher isn't really a hero.
He is just trolling. Batman does not kill. Anyone who became a superhero because he saw his parents murdered in front of him would not kill.
Now, funny that you mentioned that. When I was going down the rabbit hole earlier trying to figure out a good comic to read to prepare for this. I did stumble upon that one comic that I told you about where Superman fights Atlas, but then I wanted to see if there was at any point where Shazam fought Atlas, and there is one, but it's a weird offshoot kind of spin-off comic. They were doing this storyline called and it was weird because it was an offshoot of an offshoot of an offshoot. One storyline called DC Heavy Metal, and it was about the Batman Who Laughs, who was Bruce Wayne who went crazy and killed his own parents.
Batman.
And then he became like this psycho Joker Batman. And he had this batarang, and I don't remember.
Batman Damned. That's the one you're talking about. Actually, I think I reviewed that on the original website we had.
That might have been one of them in there, yeah. But yeah, he had this batarang that had some sort of, I don't remember like what it said, what sort of illness or disease was on it, but when he would impale the other heroes with it, it would infect them with basically liquid evil. And so he was going around getting all of these. He got Wonder Woman, he got Commissioner Gordon, he got Shazam. And so infected Shazam decided, I hate my family, I hate my sisters, and I need to find a new family. And so what he did was he was going around the world fighting people to try and find replacements and figure out somebody who would be better family members, somebody who could keep up with his strength. They thought, I'm going to start challenging all the gods that I get my powers from. And so you see him fighting Atlas and fighting Zeus and fighting some of these other characters, and finally it's Mary who is able to defeat him. But then he tricks her by saying, Mary, I'm just not myself. Help me. She gets close to him. She goes, Billy, I'll help you. And he stabs her.
Nice. Very nice.
That's the only time, apparently, and I tried looking through all these different comics. That's the only one that I could find where Shazam actually fights any of the gods.
Well, we'll be seeing it in March.
And Sierra, damn, pain. It was pretty messed up. But there was, in the run, I will mention this because we know that it's possible that, what's his name, is going to be playing Lobo?
Talking about Jason Momoa?
Jason Momoa, yeah. So in one of the stories, a cosmic Lex Luthor hires Lobo to try and stop the Batman Who Laughs, and he gets a hold of this cosmic crystal thing, and he decides to start rewriting everybody's backstories. He replaces baby Superman with baby Lobo. He changes Wonder Woman into someone who only cares about dolphins and kills all humans to save the dolphins. And then it was, I think for Batman, he says, and then we find little Bruce Wayne, whose parents are blah, blah, blah. You know the story. They went down Crime Alley. Why would you go down an alley called Crime Alley? You know what's going to happen. You know what? We're going to skip this story. He leaves it the same. But it was funny. You guys should check that out.
Yes, I don't think we're saying that heavy metal is where they're going to start the DCU, if that's what you're saying.
That's exactly how James Gunn should take the DCU.
I thought it sounded familiar. That's a messed up. That's Batman.
That's a messed up look for him. And he still does.
That's him. Yep. Right there. You got it, Dave.
Yes, sir.
All right, back to the trailer.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Tangent time.
Saving Mary Marvel there, who once again seems depowered. He does have the staff again. So it does look like, unless this is all the final act, it looks like his family's going to be depowered pretty early on in the movie. And I don't know if he's unable to give them their powers back, or he doesn't want to because he doesn't want to put them in danger against the gods. If he has all the powers, they'll only take him out to get what they want and not the rest of his family. We end this now. I really want to see Shazam just cutting loose because he is such a powerful character. Did you notice he has a black uniform on there?
Did he? Oh my gosh, he does.
Oh, maybe he's got ash on him.
Maybe. I looked at it when I first saw it. I was like, God, are they dissing Dwayne Johnson here? We're the real Black Adam over here.
I'll be Black Adam. That would be funny if that was what they were doing.
But look, even there, let's see if I can. When he's holding up the. Oh, that's the blue Marvel, not the.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
That's his brother. And I believe that's turquoise cape.
Oh, sorry.
You got a white cape?
Actually, it's turquoise. The Wyron. You're absolutely right, Tundra Walker. And he looks like he's going to be burned to a cinder. But you know what, Dave? You're probably right. Seeing him flip right there, you kind of saw where the uniform was still red, but it looks like he's covered in ash. Excellent catch. I'm looking forward to him fighting a dragon.
Hey, Don't Eat Me Cows is here. Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey. Welcome, Don't Eat Me Cows. We've just been talking a little Shazam Fury of the Gods trailer. Talked the Bad Batch earlier. Talked a lot of DC Comics. I think that's a much better trailer than we got for the first one, like we talked about.
Oh, totally agree. I'm definitely a bit more, I'm not going to use the word hype. I'm a little bit more willing to enjoy this movie, I think, than I was previously. Where, when I saw the original trailer, I was like, well, I'm going to see it because I got to see it for the channel, but I don't have to like it. But now I think there's a good potential. I might like it.
When I saw the
first, I didn't think it was the best movie ever made, but it was fun, and I think this one will be just as fun.
When I saw the first trailer, I was they're kind of overhyping the silliness a bit. I hope that's not how the end movie turns out. Because the first Shazam movie, I enjoyed. I've watched it again. I actually own it. It's, better than some of the other DC movies. It's not
That's
like...
a low bar, though.
No, it is. But, I mean, if I see it on TV, I'll turn it on. I'll watch it a little bit. Spider-Verse or Infinity War or things of that nature. But it definitely is entertaining. Is this going to be like a sequel like Empire Strikes Back or The Winter Soldier? Or is it going to be, what's a bad sequel? Like Gremlins 2,
Terminator
maybe?
3.
Oh, yeah, Terminator 3. Or it'll be like a sequel like Terminator 3. And it seems like after seeing this, I think it's going to be more Winter Soldier than Terminator 3.
Yes.
So Walker, did somebody say Winter Soldier?
No Bucky Cap,
Bucky,
no peace. Once again, they're not going to do Bucky Cap in the MCU because he's too much the original Cap. They needed him with wings and all that other fun stuff.
Plus, I don't know if the MCU Bucky has had enough time to work through his issues.
That's true. Well,
he worked out pretty well in that first season of White Wolf and Captain America.
It's an excellent point. But
I hope that they stick with that name. I liked that. That was good when the Wakandans called him that.
White Wolf.
Yeah.
Well, and that's from the comics, too. It's T'Challa's adopted brother, I believe, who was the head of security for Wakanda. They changed it up a little bit. That Bucky was, called the White Wolf. That was pretty cool. And outside, obviously, we'll probably have a little Theory Palooza closer to this movie coming out. But honestly, I think we got a lot of what is going to happen in this movie from this trailer. They come to take the powers, looks everyone, but Billy is depowered. And Billy wants to give up his powers to save his family. And then eventually he takes down and saves the day. It's hopefully entertaining, but...
I wonder if he gives his powers up at the end because he's not going to be any more sequels. He saves everybody and then gives up his powers back to the god Shazam. That'd be interesting.
Well, if they were going to put, a nice little bow on this and end it for good to make way for the DCU, that would be one way to do it. He could just relinquish his powers and, well, it's been nice being able to be a hero. And the end.
Mm-hmm.
Bow, curtain falls.
And then a post-credit scene in an alternate, somewhere in the multiverse, a different young kid named Billy is walking through and he's like, hey, who are you, wizard?
Oh, you guys. Cavill comes down and lands next to him. He says, leave it alone, kid. And that's it.
You don't want that.
You don't want any part of that.
You're right, Tundra Walker. He definitely could lose, and it could kick off Crisis or something, which, if they weren't switching over to the DCU, probably, because I think what's going to, I think the big theory going around is, the Flash is going to flashpoint and reset the universe for the DCU to kick off. I don't think it really matters too much how Shazam Fury of the Gods ends, because I think it's all going to be wrapped up in a nice little bow with the Flash.
Well,
and that's the last one.
No, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Well, that's right. That's not coming out until December, right?
It's been moved so much.
Pretty late.
It is. It
How
got moved so
explain that in that movie then? It's going to have to happen before then, but that would ruin the whole impact of the Flash movie.
I don't think they care.
They should just have him be Lobo playing Aquaman.
Underwater.
You know
my
what
God.
I mean?
I'm the main man underwater.
Yeah.
You know what? That movie would make a couple billion.
That would be great. I would go and watch a 3-hour movie of Aquaman, but acting like Lobo. Hey, are you sure you should be wearing a leather jacket underwater? Of course.
Don't tell me what to do.
That's how I get chicks.
You know him, kid. Super who?
And Don't Eat Me Cows, I do believe I'm the only one who finished Rings of Power.
Yeah, you might be the only one in the country who finished it. It was
So-
kind of boring.
Yeah, I don't know how I got through it. The last 2 or 3 episodes weren't bad, but once again, was not worth watching the first 5 or 6 to get there. It was a bit a bit dry. But season 2's coming, but not
Unfortunate.
until after Invincible season 2, The Boys season 4, and all that good, wholesome greatness. Oh, why am I being scolded by Holly, Tundra Walker?
Oh, what did he
Rings of
say
Power.
about you? He's making stuff up, isn't he?
No, I think she enjoyed Rings of Power. And once
Oh.
again, the last couple episodes I did enjoy. I thought it was much better. I just thought getting to that point could have been done a little more interesting. Please apologize to Holly.
She enjoyed Rings of Power, all right.
Well, somebody had to. You know?
Yeah,
That's the
so,
way I
you know,
look at it.
two people watched it to
Some
completion.
people had to enjoy it.
And Holly, I am looking forward to season 2. I hope the momentum at the end of season 1 runs through season 2, and we get a good season. It kind of reminded me almost of Luke Cage, because with Luke Cage, when Cottonmouth was there in the first half of season 1, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then as soon as that character was killed off, the second half of the season, I was like, why am I still watching this?
Wait, why did they do that? Did you read the source material? Of course, that's not a big thing over at Netflix, is going with the source material.
Well, and sometimes that can be okay, but not when they
Sometimes.
mess it up. And even the second season of Luke Cage, when, oh my God, who was the villain? I can't remember his name now. Until he got into the series, which was halfway through the second season started off really slow and just hard to watch, and then he showed up, and it was, really good. It finished off strong. And don't tell her you slept through a couple of them, Tundra Walker. She'll get mad at you too.
Was it Diamondback?
Yeah, it was Diamondback.
So they name them all after snakes. Diamondback, Cottonmouth.
If Flashpoint could go ahead and erase the Iron Fist, that would be great. And I support that 100%. Iron Fist is one of my all-time
Get rid
favorite
of Carrie's
characters.
favorite show?
As a big fan of Iron Fist as a character, that show is about as disappointing as anything can be. And just when I thought maybe they'll pick it up for the second season, because they changed showrunners for the second season. Oh my God, it was even worse the second season.
Yeah, I was about to say, it got worse, actually.
Okay, Tundra Walker, you are going too far. Yes, I haven't seen Wonder Man. It's going to be fantastic. It's rumored to start filming this March.
Rumors.
Mm-hmm. Rumors, indeed.
Rumors in the air like a thief in the night,
do
taking more
rumors
than
here.
their share, more than their right. If anyone can name that song besides Tundra Walker, they win the big prize.
Ward.
Ward,
Meacham.
that was
Ward
his name,
Meacham,
yeah.
yes.
Ward Meacham, yeah.
Yeah, and their father, Harold Meacham. I thought he was a very good part of that show. It was my favorite part when he went crazy.
He prefers to be called Harry Meach.
I don't think that's true.
It just sounds dirty.
And don't forget to hit us up at Twitter, leave a comment down below, and we will see you next time on Not Your Status Quo.